Da-da-da, and we are live. Okay. So, hi, Lauren. How are you?
Hey, Jillian. How are you?
Good. Where's
Good.
I'm like distracted right now. Hold on, give me 1 second. I was going to post to the Facebook group. I don't know where I put my phone, though. I'm losing it. I was going to post to the Facebook group really quick and let everybody know that we were live.
Yeah.
All right. So, for those of you that are here, hi, Alexandra. Here. Hi, Alexandra. How are you doing? So if you want to like drop in the comments when you come in, so I know who's in here. Today we have Lauren here, and she is a coach for Teachers Pay Teachers. You actually you coach people on how to create materials, or you coach people on how to market them?
How to start their store, how to strategically grow their Teachers Pay Teacher store, which includes some marketing. So I do a little bit of both. I just started delving into helping brand spanking new sellers. So over the past year or two, I have been coaching sellers who are working on growing their business and working towards ultimately matching or out earning their teaching salary. So we've been working on
Do you
that.
have a lot of people that are doing it that are out earning their teaching? Are you talking about online teaching salary or classroom teaching salary?
Oh no, classroom teaching salary.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that is awesome. So do you have the teachers that come in, are they usually like brick and mortar teachers that are looking to leave the classroom and have more freedom? Or
I mean, there's a mixture in there, and I feel like especially with the current classroom climate, then I'm seeing a little bit more of that. I'm seeing a lot of people who are really stressed out and they want options. I feel like that's the really big thing for teachers right now is they want options. But there's also just the fact that there are a lot of teachers who don't make very much. I'm in Texas. Starting salary here in Texas is somewhere between like $35,000 and $45,000 a year, which is obscene, right? And if you are a classroom teacher and that's how much money you're making, well, then obviously there's some incentive, as you know, because you're in the same industry of helping teachers make more money, then there's some incentive to try to start your side hustle. And TPT just is a natural they naturally gravitate towards that because most of them are already creating their own resources inside of the classroom. And so it's kind of just a natural progression of things for them.
Right, they are. And a lot of the teachers have probably already used TPT as well, right?
Yeah. Oh,
Classroom.
absolutely.
Okay. So what would you, well, actually, first I want to ask, are you a teacher?
No. Well, I mean, I left the classroom back in 2019 after I was blessed and fortunate enough to start out earning my teaching salary. It didn't make any sense for me to be in the classroom anymore because I wanted to be able to focus on growing my business, but I also wanted to be able to stay home and have a family. And so I, be home with my kids, which, I know is really important to you as well. You want to be home with your kids. And I know that's not for everybody, but that's what I wanted. And so I left the classroom in 2019 and
Perfect timing.
Yeah, exactly. I had no idea. I mean, we say perfect timing, but then of course, when the bottom fell out from under in 2020, I mean, I went from that March, March of 2020, I was slated to have my first 5-figure month on TPT. And I was so excited. And then school shut down and boom. So you talk about having to create an instant recovery in your business, like major pivot right there. So that part of it was scary, but it was an incredible growth piece for me and for my business. So yeah, it was perfect timing to get out of the classroom at that time, but it was also like a scary moment in your business, but it was all really, really good. And I've enjoyed every second of it ever since.
That's awesome. Let's see. I'll go into this question here. Alexandra wants to know is she supposed to contact every person who created each template picture or symbol that she used for games or backdrops before selling it on Teachers Pay Teachers?
So that depends on where you got the template, the picture, or the symbols. So that's really going to be a matter of who created it. So let's say that you purchased those templates from someone. You want to make sure that number one, that the license that you purchased was a commercial license so that you're able to use it commercially. Same for pictures and symbols. You want to make sure that anything that you're using inside of your products is licensed for commercial use. So all clip art, all templates, everything like that. If it's not, don't use it. Or you can reach out to them and you can try to contact them and you can ask them. But I found that the easiest and the best way is just to get on Teachers Pay Teachers, buy those templates. I think right now digital templates are going for something like $12.95 or $15 a piece. You can buy a whole set of clip art for $10 or less. And you can buy fonts for like a pack of fonts for $6. And then you're covered and you don't have to worry about it. So that's the route that I would go.
Are you suggesting to buy them from TPT or from somewhere else?
You can buy them from TPT or you can buy them on Etsy as long as there's a commercial license. I just know the going rates on TPT. So I was quoting those going rates.
Okay.
But you can also find them on Etsy or anywhere else. And there are some free options on Teachers Pay Teachers, on Etsy, and even some free options on different websites. The important thing is to make sure that the license that you are getting to use that clip art, that image, that symbol, whatever it is, that it's a commercial license. That's the key.
Okay. Do you sell on Etsy as well, or are you just solely?
Nope, I don't. A lot of TPT sellers do, but it's not. I'm middle school math, so not a lot of people are going to Etsy for middle school math stuff.
Oh, okay. So it really depends on like what your
right
niche is, like what your materials are then.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to give you the floor now. So you've got someone who's coming to you who's brand new. It says, Lauren, I saw you on Instagram. By the way, I put her her link to her Instagram in the description. I can't even talk. I can't think right now. In the description box of this video. So make sure you go and follow Lauren on Instagram. But okay, Lauren, I found you on Instagram and I see you do Teachers Pay Teachers and I see you help teachers. How do I get started? What are your basic tips for someone who has no idea what to do for anything?
Well, first of all, you have to decide what is it that you want to do? What is your goal for coming to TPT? Are you coming there to make money? Are you coming there for a hobby? Do you already have products that you're creating for your classroom that you want to upload onto TPT? What is your starting place? Because some people come in and to the picture and they're not currently creating products. They just kind of like the idea of earning some extra money and they need a place to start. So if you're not currently creating products inside of your classroom, then the first place that I'm going to have you start is I'm going to have you start with actually creating products. And so I'm going to ask you a series of questions. I'm going to say, okay, number one, what is your grade level? What grade level do you teach? And within that grade level, what need is there that you see among the teachers around you? What are the teachers complaining about that they can't find? And what are the students complaining about that they don't like? And what would make it better for the students? And what would make it better for the teachers? And if you can meet that need by creating a product that's going to meet a need for the teachers or that's going to meet a need for the students, then you are going to have a solid set of resources and tools that you can bring to the market. And so that's what I'm going to start off by doing, is asking them a series of questions like, okay, what is it that you want to create? What is it that you're going to be able to bring to the market? Because I think that's the key piece that a lot of people are missing when they first start wanting to sell on Teachers Pay Teachers, is they like the idea of earning extra income, or they have random products that they've created for their students, or they've seen something that's sold before, and so they kind of try to copy it or emulate it. And they put them up and it's crickets. They don't get any sales, right? Which is really defeating because they put all this time, effort, and energy in and they're not getting any sales. And so if we start in the very beginning from the very moment that you decide, okay, I think I want to sell on Teachers Pay Teachers, if I start with what is a need that I can meet in the market, then I am going to have a really solid foundation for my business. It's going to be easier for me to do very simple things like create quote boxes and banners for my store, which is something that I talk about. But it's going to be easier for if I know exactly what direction I'm going and what need that I'm meeting, it's going to be easier for me to gain followers on TPT and even inside of my store, inside of that banner, to say, this is who I am, this is what I do, and this is why you should follow me. And so if I start with that really solid foundation, everything after that becomes a whole lot simpler.
All right. That's awesome. What do you use? Do you use Canva when you make your stuff?
I use PowerPoint. That's the most common software for TPT sellers, but you can use Yeah, PowerPoint. It's kind of like Canva, but it's a whole lot more powerful. So you'd be amazed the amazing things that you can create in PowerPoint. Some people create clip art in PowerPoint. There's so many cool things that you can do. PowerPoint, Keynote. Some people use Adobe Illustrator or InDesign from Adobe. Canva is one that's kind of gaining in popularity, but I feel like it's a little bit limited in terms of what that software is able to do. But you can create.
Even for basic things like creating YouTube videos. So you sent me over the picture for the image for the thumbnail image, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, let's remove the background on it. And I'm like, oh, it actually worked. Usually I would have to go to PicMonkey, remove the background in PicMonkey, and then come back over and like put it on there. So like I know a lot of people like rant and rave about Canva. I have to use a combination of Canva and PicMonkey, even for just like, you know, it is limited. They created a background remover, but like you can't touch it up and like erase things, and you can't.
No. And I found the same thing whenever I start to work in it. I create some products for Rebranded Teacher when I'm creating resources for teacher authors. They're a little bit more basic, just worksheet type models. I create those in Canva. But for student projects and student resources, I've found that, you know, especially with me being in secondary math, I need the equation editors, I need all that stuff. But even something as simple as adding a shadow to a shape, you can't do that at Canva. So, and that's really limiting. So I found some of those things to be frustrating. Or bold my commercial fonts, I can't bold them at Canva. So that's kind of a limiter.
I don't do that much editing on things, so I didn't know that. I do know that Canva is more limiting. What is like the startup cost for somebody who's going to get into this? Like, how much is it going to usually cost them to like start up, like just getting a license to use this software, any of the software?
It really depends on the route that you take, because you can use a free version of Canva. Now you're going to be a little bit more. It depends on what you're creating. So if I'm using, see, I can't upload branded fonts, but I can use some of their fonts from their library. But if I'm not using any of their images and I'm not using any of their elements, then I can, from my understanding, I can do that.
Yeah.
Same for, and now, or if I create in Google Slides. Now, Google Slides is another controversial one. There are some people who sell on TPT who've gotten very clear answers from some Google reps that yes, they can use the free version of Google Slides to create products, while another person will get an answer from a rep that says, no, you cannot do that. But even then, if I want to create in Google Slides, which is very similar to PowerPoint, it has similar capabilities. It's, I think, $5.99 a month is what I pay. It's not much at all. At least that's what it was whenever I started.
There's a paid version of Google Slides.
Yeah, there is. There's a paid version of Google Suites. So yeah. And you have to kind of hunt to find it. And so that's why a lot of people don't know about it. But it came up one time and I thought, well, I'll just cover my base just in case, you know. But even Microsoft Suite is fairly inexpensive. I think the business version, the last I looked, it was between $12 and $15 a month. So it's not incredibly expensive. No, it's not bad at all.
I think if you go to anything Adobe or PowerPoint, that's where it starts to get pricey, right?
Yeah, Adobe is pretty pricey. And I can't remember, I got some sort of special years ago, and I've been locked in at the rate since 2016 when I signed up for Adobe. And I think I pay like $40 a month for all of Adobe apps, which is worth it to me because I use a lot of Adobe apps. But for most people, it's not going to be worth it for them.
But for the other ones, you're paying like less than $10 a month or whatever, then that's usually on most teachers products. I mean, that might be like one or two products that covers it.
Exactly.
Sales, I mean.
Yeah. And you kind of have to look at it like that. It's not, I mean, I get it. There are people who come to me and they say, look, I don't have any extra income, single moms. And it's, you know, it's hard to tell them there are some things you're going to have to pay for just to be legal. You know, you actually have to, but it's really hard. You know, when I first started selling on TPT, the $60 that it is to, you know, get the premium membership as a seller, because you can sell for free, but premium is $60 a year. That was a decision that I actually had to make, you know, 6 months in, like, am I going to do this? Because every penny was precious, you know? And if you can't immediately see that return on investment, then it's really hard to go ahead and pay for it. And so that's why I tell people, like, if you're going to do it right. but give yourself timelines and give yourself deadlines for making some of that money back. If I'm going to purchase this software, how many products am I going to make with that software within the next month?
Oh, okay, I want to talk about that for a second, because you've got two versions of selling on TPT. You have the free version, but that really isn't free because you pay more in fees, right?
Yes.
Okay, because I've looked into it before. And then you have the like the what is it called?
The premium seller.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where you pay it an annual price.
You pay an annual price. It's $60 a year. So it's not bad.
And then you still have to pay seller fees, but they're less, right?
Much less. So if I sign up for a basic account, I'm going to be paying 55% in commissions plus a 30-cent transaction fee. No, excuse me.
Oh, sorry.
Hang on.
Sorry about that.
Oh, you're good. I said that wrong. I keep 55%. So it's still low. It's still really, really low. I keep 55%. They get 45%. But I also have to pay a 30-cent transaction fee for every single product, which is massive if I've got a low-cost product, which most of the products on TPT are low cost. So that eats into that chunk really, really fast. And I don't always recommend that people immediately go get the premium account, because the premium, you get 80%. You keep 80% of your commissions. And you only pay a 15-cent transaction fee if their cart total is less than $3. So if their cart total is less than $3, then you have to pay a 15-cent transaction fee. So it's you get to keep a significant. I'm sorry?
It's more than $3. Do you pay anything, or you pay less than that?
No transaction fee. You just pay the 20% commission. Yeah. So I don't always recommend that a person immediately goes out and buys the premium membership, because, my first few months on TPT, I think I started in the summer of 2016, and it was February before I even made $40, and so it was, $2 here, $3 here. Like, a person would buy a $5 resource, like 1 or 2 a month, and that was it. Well, in that case, it wasn't really worth it for me. I would have wasted 6 months of membership, essentially.
Now, do you think that knowing what you know now and knowing what you teach, if you would have applied, like say like new Lauren could coach like 2016 Lauren, do you think that you would have still only made like $45 by February, or do you think you would have done better?
Yeah, because here's the thing about old Lauren was playing around. Old Lauren was having fun. And so new Lauren could have looked old Lauren in the face and said, hey, listen, this is a serious gig here. You need to take it seriously. And old Lauren would have said, I'm tired. I'm a second-year teacher. I would rather watch Netflix right now. Oh, woe is me. I'm single. I'm going to sit on the couch and eat popcorn. That's literally what 2016 Lauren was. Okay. I didn't get it. 2017 Lauren got it.
So you weren't even in the right mindset that if somebody told you wouldn't even listen to it.
I was playing. And so if you're kind of casually just putting resources up as you create them and just kind of putting them on there, and you're not like, I want to start a business, then why spend that $60? Spend it elsewhere,
So if I came in and I had you coaching me and like using the things, and like I'm brand new, I've never sold. I have never sold. I have a buyer's account. I have bought escape rooms because my students like escape rooms, and those take a lot of work. And I would rather pay $15 for, an escape room to use for a week than to make one, because it would take me hours to make one, especially when I'm not doing it all the time. But like, say I came to you and listened to you on like the things that I need to do and everything. What kind of results can a brand new seller, is it oversaturated? Can a brand new seller come in and like, get their foot in the door? Like, I know it's going to depend too on like what their niche is and what they're selling and how much they're putting out, but like, what kind of results from what kind of effort can somebody brand new expect?
It's so hard for me to answer that question, because I feel like it's kind of like, When you're teaching and, the average classroom teacher, their first year, they suck, right? They're going to tell you that across the board. Like, hey, your first year you're probably not going to be very good. And that's everyone's base level expectation. However, you have other people in their first year who absolutely rock their first year and make the other first year teachers feel sick, right? This is kind of how it is on TPT. Some people have what I would call it. They get how to make a cover look appealing. They get how to make a preview look appealing and to accurately describe the value that's inside of their product. They get how to create a product that is going to bring them a return on their investment, and they get how to create a resource that's going to bring them repeat buyers. They just get it. They have the it factor. And that is something that you cannot, like, you can give them coaching and you can teach them things, but they just know how to implement it. There are other people that it just takes them a little bit longer to get there. You can tell them everything that they need to know in order to get their business where it needs to be. They just have to spend some time getting their feet wet and actually playing around with this stuff themselves. So you can see anything from, I interviewed a lady on the podcast who launched her store in the summer of 2020, I believe it was. No, summer of 2019. And in her first 8 months on Teachers Pay Teachers, she made 6 figures.
That is awesome. That was going to be my next question. If you had any like awesome stories that you've run into from people.
Yeah, incredible. She had 14 products in her store, 14.
That's
but she had spent a very long time building a reputation with people inside of her niche, inside of a Facebook group, and she had been sharing her products. But when she revamped them and got them ready to sell, everyone was like, yeah, of course, it's a no-brainer for us. We've been using your products for years. So of course, we want the revamped versions and we want the complete sets of what you have to offer. Like, we want this. And so it was an absolute no-brainer for them to purchase her whole curriculum, right? So that absolutely took off and she did amazing with it. Well, you might have somebody else, and she was in a market that obviously was not saturated at all. I think she taught some upper level science class in high school that I had never even heard of before, environmental science or something like something I didn't take when I was in high school. But she ran into that niche and it did really well. There are other people who are in a niche that is not saturated. And even though it's not saturated, buyers are not accustomed to going to TPT to find it. And so because they don't have those outside connections with people inside of their niche to kind of promote that, then it's harder for them to kind of get their feet off the ground because they have to go find their buyer and then send their buyer to TPT, which makes the process a little bit more complicated. And so
I've run into on Instagram because I'm more active on Instagram, I guess, than some of the other platforms. But I have seen a lot of Teachers Pay Teachers marketing on there, and like, I don't really know, it's like some hashtag marketing or something. Is that something that you recommend? Do you know what I'm talking about? Like the hashtag marketing where it's like, I think a bunch of teachers will like join one hashtag or something.
And hashtag sale. Like, they'll do a hashtag sale on Teachers Pay Teachers. And you can
go Teachers Pay Teachers thing, or is that
mostly, I mean, sometimes they'll start a hashtag and you can go follow different accounts that have that hashtag. But most of the time with hashtags, what they're using that for is going to be a hashtag sale. So they'll add a hashtag to their TPT products, and then they'll all join together, which is a really great way to get exposure for your products and to kind of help get your product some traction in the market. So they'll partner with other people inside of their niche. They'll add a hashtag to the end of their product title on TPT, and then they'll all direct traffic to that hashtag and say, go shop this sale. And so it's a way for them to get more exposure, to get more sales and things like that.
Is that good for the teacher that's bringing in their own traffic though? So like, say I'm selling English escape rooms.
Right.
And I'm marketing this on Instagram and I'm like, okay, it's the hashtag flash sale. Okay, so hashtag flash sale. I'm just making something up.
Right.
So it's hashtag flash sale. And then if I like put on my graphic like escape rooms and I put my name, then I put like all this stuff and I put hashtag flash sale, there's too many call to actions there, aren't there, where they might go to the hashtag flash sale and then buy from somebody else? Like, it's good for teachers pay teachers, but is that good for the individual teacher?
It is good for the individual teacher, and it depends on who all you're partnering with. So this one of the key ways to make that a success is to partner with people who are similar in size or in the similar have a similar audience as you. So if you just start selling on Teachers Pay Teachers, or let's say I just start selling on Teachers Pay Teachers, right? And there's a popular person inside of my niche. Her name is Tyra from Algebra and Beyond, right? She's got an amazing store. She's an established seller. She has a huge audience, but I've just started on TPT and I have no one. Got like 50 people who follow me on Instagram, and one of them is my grandma, right? So if I partner with Tyra, like, yeah, I'm going to get a lot of exposure because she has an awesome audience and she's sending that audience there, and they're buying a little bit they're buying some stuff from her, but they're also buying stuff from me, right? But she's not going to get anything from me because I don't have an audience to send there. But if we all have a similar size audience and we're all tapping into that our audiences, and we're all directing traffic there, it all kind of comes out in the wash, because the whole purpose of a sale, and most of the time it's a really steal of a deal. It's like dollar deals or, half off. And so you've got like a really good steal. Buyers are adding multiple products to their cart. So they're buying from all kinds of different sellers.
I see. Okay. So it's a collaborative thing then. It's
right.
Not. Okay. So who was the girl that you just said? What was her name?
Oh, Tyra from Algebra and Beyond.
Okay. So I'm just going to use Tyra as an example. I don't know who she is. You just use her. Okay. So she's got like 50,000 followers and you've got like 5. Okay. Obviously I'm making these numbers up. I know.
Right.
Okay. You follow her and you kind of like, when you're doing your market research and how you kind of like scope other people out, see what they're doing. Okay. So you follow her and you see that she has a hashtag at the end of her products and she's doing this hashtag sale and she's collabing. What is stopping other people from joining yours?
Oh, they absolutely can. I mean, it's frowned upon, but they can do it. And we call them hashtag jumpers. It happens all the time. It's very annoying, but most of the time when people do that, they're so they're so unaware that they don't even realize that it's for math.
So
they're English.
So they don't even know. So the people that are doing this are the people that haven't talked to people like you that know what they're doing.
Exactly.
They don't know how to use hashtags. They just kind of think that it's kind of like
they think it's for everybody.
Like Instagram hashtag, but it's not. It's a collaborative thing.
Right. And it's usually very innocent, but it doesn't happen often enough for it to keep people from doing it. Like they're still successful enough, that people still want to do it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I was wondering how that worked. Like say you're going to collaborate with like these people or whatever. Okay. That makes sense. And then especially if you're really niche down, then the science teacher who's teaching environmental science, she goes into like 3 things, 4 things, and then like an English teacher pops something in there with their sale.
Right. Yeah.
Her and the 4 other people.
Exactly.
It's going to be obvious that that's the out of place one anyways.
Exactly. Yeah.
The big traffic that they're sending over there is not going to do anything.
Right.
Okay. Honestly, if I were to go on a Teachers Pay Teachers without knowing this and start selling and see that people were using hashtags, I would 100% use them and apply them in the same way that you do, like on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or anything. Like I would not know that was, not how you use them. So that's really interesting to know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's cool. Because I'd seen that, and I think that's a more recent thing.
They are gaining in popularity over time. Just sellers are collaborating more and more over the years, which is a really awesome thing. And so that's just a very simple way for them to all collaborate. And so that's why they've just been gaining in popularity a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you I didn't even know that. I just started seeing them like on Instagram. I'm like, I don't even know what that is. And I didn't try and I didn't look into it, but I wasn't really sure how to use it either. So but I didn't try. I was just like, I don't know what a hashtag sale is. Like, I don't know. And then it just didn't make sense to me again, because I was like, how is that beneficial to send everybody to a hashtag instead of sending them to your product or your email list, or because it's not the way that I work. You know what I mean? It's different than my mode of business where you collect emails on an email list. You don't send them to everybody else.
Right. Yeah. Your traffic stays on your site. Yeah.
Yes, which I guess on Teachers Pay Teachers, that might not be the same way that you would want to do things, because they're coming to you when they need something specific. They're not coming to you for, yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess, I mean, it's different because you don't, it's not like you're coming to, sell. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It
I hope
absolutely
everybody knows what I'm saying.
Yeah, no. It totally is, because TPT is probably the number one traffic driver for most sellers who are on Teachers Pay Teachers, and so we do like understand and we do recognize that, and so and honestly, a lot of times it's just simpler to drive traffic there versus hosting hundreds of products on your own store and having to keep up with all of that. Sometimes it's a lot simpler to just drive.
Even just having an email list.
Oh yeah.
Like, okay, so like do you have an email list for your
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But even just having an email list, like, it's probably way more beneficial to just do the internal marketing
It is.
than the external marketing, because if I were to want to buy an escape room, I would be more apt to going to Teachers Pay Teachers directly than getting the Teachers Pay Teachers link from your email. It's a lot different marketing than
it is different. And there's some truth to that. It just depends on, you're probably saying that because you probably don't have a relationship with the people that you are buying your escape rooms from.
Right. That is okay. So there's different things to look at too.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I buy random things.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yep.
So yeah. And they're worth it when I buy them. I like buying them. They're worth it. I honestly, my most frequent purchase has been different escape rooms, because I can make a lot of the curriculum myself that I'm doing. I'm an online teacher.
Yeah.
And actually, the majority of people that are on this channel are online teachers. Everybody on this channel is an online teacher, probably. So, like anybody that's watching this. But that's another thing. Online teachers have a hard time getting material from Teachers Pay Teachers. Because a lot of the Teachers Pay Teachers do not want other teachers to use it for profit.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I don't understand that. I do. Okay. So I'm going to kind of play Switzerland a little bit. I kind of understand in some ways where they're coming from. In other ways, to me, it's a product that a teacher is using to teach their students the same way that they would in a brick and mortar school. So that I don't understand. I think where a lot of just from being inside of forums and Facebook groups and stuff where these conversations have been had, personally, I don't think I have any restrictions set on whether or not they can use it on something like OutSchool. OutSchool is a big one that a lot of people talk about. I think where it's left a bad taste in some sellers' mouths and it's made people want to put these restrictions in place is where there are specific listings like on OutSchool where people are advertising that they are going to be doing this escape room during this lesson, right? So it kind of makes that seller feel like, oh, they feel like they're basically selling my product to get customers. Now, I see both sides of that coin, because you can easily say, well, I'm teaching students a topic. You've created a resource to teach students this topic, and it's no different than me using it in tutorials or something like that. But I mean, I don't know. Like personally, it does not bother me. Number one, because I think that those things, even if that did bother me for them to specifically be advertising an escape room for like an escape room session for sale, if that did bother me, it doesn't happen very often. Like I've gone on OutSchool, I've searched around. I didn't really see anything that I thought like, oh, that doesn't look good. But that's me personally.
I've never seen somebody use the like picture or the clip art from the escape room.
No, it wasn't a particular picture, or it was just advertising like an escape room. And different sellers have found they'll purchase like the session and they'll get like kind of sneaky. And they were, it bothered them. And I guess that's the thing about selling your resources though. Like you own them. And so you get to decide what your terms of use are going to be.
What do they do after they purchase the session and they spend their money to watch somebody using their product? That seems kind of funny to me. Like,
I think it was just to see whether or not, I think from my understanding, because I have a very limited knowledge about school, so I might be taking like what they were saying and applying my own thoughts and ideas of how OutSchool works to what they were saying. But it seemed to me like maybe they were looking to see if it was their product that was being downloaded, because it was specifically within their terms of use that they couldn't use it on OutSchool. And so they would, sometimes I think from what I understand, sometimes on OutSchool, the PDF or the resource that goes along with it will be sent to the student so they can print it out and work along with it at home or something like that.
Yeah.
So I think that's more what they were looking for, was like buyers or sellers, who specifically had that as a part of like their terms of use, that they were not allowed to do that. Then
so
they would
contact the buyer and say,
right. They would contact they'd contact them and have them take it down,
basically, or whatever. Okay. Yeah. I wondered about that. I know that's been an issue. And for anybody that is watching this now or watching the replay, if you decide to sell on TPT and you have like good stuff and you are okay with people using it for profit in their independent classes, OutSchool classes, whatever,
yeah,
you're more than welcome to post your TPT link in our Facebook group. We appreciate like people sharing their stuff, because
absolutely. And that sounds like a niche market, does it not? Like resources specifically created for online teachers. Like I'm sure that would really be appreciated, where there's a store that you could go to that you could always get products.
I started many people don't know this because I didn't go anywhere with it. Like I was going to, and then the Chinese market crashed and a lot of things happened. But it was going to be basically like a TPT store, but only for online products, where you automatically gave permission for it to be used in online classrooms, for-profit online classrooms. It was going to be like a very like a niche online store.
Yeah.
And I was really excited about it. It could have taken off, but I got scared and I backed out and I said, I don't want to do this anymore, because a lot of people were taking stolen things and posting them all over Facebook. Wonders material, Raz material. And I was like, I am not going to police this. And I know I have it in my terms and conditions and my legal statement, but it could still come back on me. And I'm not prepared for that. So I actually backed out of it. But if you have stuff like that, TPT can deal with that.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. So very cool. Okay. I was stalking your page a little bit, so don't look at me like a creeper, but I was stalking your page a little bit. The link is in the description box for that too. And I saw that you actually have a like higher level paid course for TPT. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah. Okay. So I have two courses. I have one it's Selling 101. So that's for people who want to start their TPT store, or they're brand new to TPT and they want to learn things like, how do I make a cover? How do I make a
Is that like the $45 one?
That's $24. Okay. Yeah. I started to notice, because I first started by creating the higher ticket rebranded Teacher Academy. And then I started to realize that there was this big gap in the market. There were a lot of people who followed me and were part of my audience who were brand new to TPT, and they weren't ready to spend, $400 or $500 on a course. And not only were they not ready to spend that kind of money, they weren't ready for the content that was in that course either. They needed a way to get started, to get their banners in their store, just to get their store up and running, and to actually create a seller account, to learn how to write a product description and all that kind of stuff. And they needed a way to be able to do that at a price that was affordable. And so I started looking around at different courses that were on the market for people who wanted to start selling on TPT. And I'm not going to say that they weren't valued or priced appropriately. I 100% believe that they are priced appropriately. It's just, I remember, like I said, like having to budget for that premium seller account. I remember after selling for over a year on TPT, like telling my husband, who was my boyfriend at the time, like, I want to buy this $99 course. Should I do it? And it was a really big deal for me. And so this Selling 101 was kind of a little bit of a passion project of mine, where I wanted to be able to meet sellers' needs and give them everything that they need to get their store off the ground at a price that they don't have to budget for. Like, that was really important to me. And so I started Selling 101. It actually just launched last Saturday, so a week ago.
Ah, that's exciting. Perfect.
I know it's an evergreen course, and I didn't really market it very much.
My audience has not been explain what evergreen is, because I just talked about it in the Facebook group, and my audience does not know what that is. So can you explain to me what evergreen means?
Evergreen means that, and I'm not going to say pesky, because I understand, I've done it. I love open cart, closed cart. I love that whole kind of thing. I've done it. But I also understand what it's like. I'm on a wait list for a membership right now that I really want to be a part of. And it's like, oh, this doesn't launch until, 2023 again. Like, you just missed it. And I'm like, oh, stink. I've got to wait a whole other year to get the content that I want. By then I'm not going to need it anymore, So Selling 101 being evergreen, what that just means is it's open all the time. You can go buy it anytime. That's just what that means. So it launched on Saturday, and because it was evergreen, I wasn't expecting that there would be a whole lot of people who would jump on it, but they did. And so it's been really, really fun this last week to welcome all the new people coming in, and it's been really exciting. So I launched that this past weekend. And then my main course, Rebranded Teacher Academy, that is also been revamped, and it opens to founding members on March 25th. So before it was a course, and I am now moving to a monthly membership model so that sellers can access the content at a monthly price that they can afford, and they can get ongoing support and help inside of our Facebook group. So I'm really excited about that.
Cool.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
So if they did the Rebranding Teacher Academy, is that what it's called?
Right. Rebranded Teacher Academy is the membership.
So
yeah.
If they did the Rebranded Teacher Academy, would they have access to both, or is it like, okay.
They get access to every course I've ever created.
So then it's 45. It's 45.
No. Oh, wait, the Selling 101 is 24.
What's Rebranded Teacher Academy?
Rebranded Teacher Academy for founding members. I am really proud of how low this price is, but I am probably going to sound ridiculous to you. It's going to be $15 a month for founding members, and it will go up every single time I add more content to the course, but I'm going to cap it at $35 a month, because it is really important to me that people be able to get the help that they need at the price they can afford. It is super low. But
so founding members are how many? Like, is that like the first whatever? Or is that like the
founding members is going to be, it's going to open up to anybody who joins the wait list. So if you want information on that, if somebody's watching this and they want information on that, you can actually find it on the page. Look inside the FAQ section, the page that she linked to, it's inside the FAQ section. There's a little section there, or you can just send me a message on Instagram or anywhere and I'll send it to you. You can also follow me on YouTube or subscribe to me on YouTube. I'm going to be announcing it on Monday, where you can go to sign up for that founding membership. But it'll be open for just a short window of time. And people have to be on the wait list in order to be given the opportunity.
That is amazing. So get on the wait list if you think that you might be interested in it, because that is incredible. And then when the price goes up, the founding members are locked into that price.
They're locked into that price. And so
that is awesome. Coaching is, because this is basically like you're coaching people in the Facebook group, right? So this is basically, Alexandra said that she'd love to join. She'd love to join. This is basically the link, Alexandra, the link is actually in the description box for this too. So you can get on the wait list for that. That is really exciting. And that's going to be really helpful for people too, because there are a million questions that somebody will have and they don't know where to get the answers. And you have to search this and this and this, and teachers pay teachers. It's not always super easy to find the answers for that, because it is such a different way of doing business.
Right. Well, and it's really tough because there's a lot of great content out there, but it's like, what part do you focus on? And that's the thing for TPT sellers, or, you're in the classroom or you're teaching online. Everybody has a second job. They have something that they're doing. Either they're a full-time mom, they're working full-time, or they're doing both full-time, right? And then on top of that, they've got this TPT business. And so even if you consume all of the incredible free content that there is, it's hard to know, what do I prioritize right now? And what am I supposed to focus on? Because you've got all of these ideas competing for space inside of your head, and it becomes incredibly overwhelming and incredibly stressful. And so that's where it becomes really helpful to have access to content that's going to walk you through step by step what exactly you need to do to grow your business, and at different areas of your business too. You know, I'm a little bit of a bleeding heart when it comes to this. Because, and I probably should not, this should probably not be the business that I'm in, because I am definitely a bleeding heart when it comes to this, but I love to help people. I absolutely do. I make my money on Teachers Pay Teachers. That's my main source of income.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Your main source of income comes from like dollar products.
From $3 products. I know my average product is priced at my average sale is $4.30. I was just looking at that today and I was like, holy cow, it's just insane to me. But it's really neat. And so I like being able to help people. I miss teaching. I don't miss the stress. I don't miss the long hours. I don't miss any of that. I miss teaching. And so this is, to me, a way for me to teach and get compensated at a price that is actually fair, and for me to teach. And I just absolutely love it. I just love it.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Well, I'm really proud of you. And I wish you all the best for this. I hope that this sounds awesome. And it's very clear to me that, like, I know business. I don't know Teachers Pay Teachers business. I would, if I were to, which I'm not going to, because it's not my thing, right. But if I were to go in and try to be a Teachers Pay Teachers seller, I can already tell just by talking to you that I would definitely need like the coaching to really get off the ground. Because even knowing business, I'm talking to you and it's like, why are you going to have more than one call to action? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. That's not how it works. And it's like, okay, now I'm seeing it, like it's clicking. And it's like, you obviously have a lot of value to share with the people that you're coaching. So,
well, thanks so much, Jillian.
Well, I'm glad that you came on here. So we're going to wrap this up and I'm going to end this. If anybody wants to join her Rebranded Teacher Academy,
or if you want to get started and you want to, start with Selling 101, that's a really great low cost way to go ahead and get started. That's a really great place to start. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you do, let me know, like Alexandra, if you do join,
absolutely.
So tell me about it. Tell us, leave it in the comments and let us know about it too. All right. Well, thank you for coming on, Lauren. And thank you,
Jillian.
Everybody. If you have any questions, drop them in the, like, if you're watching the replay and you have any questions, go ahead and drop them in the comments. And I'll see if I can get answers for you. All right.
Absolutely.